Right, let's get one thing straight. We're not just talking about fermented grape juice here. This isn't your £5 plonk you grab on the way home. We're diving headfirst into a world of pure, unadulterated liquid artistry. The world of fine wine is steeped in centuries of history, a relentless pursuit of perfection passed down through generations. It's about families who have dedicated their entire lives to a single patch of land, understanding its every nuance, its every secret. This is about craftsmanship, where every single grape is treated with the respect it deserves, from the moment it's hand-picked to the second it's bottled. It's about patience, passion, and a bloody-minded refusal to compromise on quality. So why do these bottles command prices that could buy you a car? It's about scarcity, you see. A perfect vintage, a year where the sun, the rain, the soil, everything aligns in absolute harmony, might only happen a few times in a generation. When a legendary producer creates a wine in such a year, the number of bottles is ridiculously small. It's a snapshot of a perfect moment in time, a liquid treasure that can never be replicated. Owning one isn't just about having a drink, it's about possessing a piece of history. A work of art so rare that collectors and connoisseurs will fight tooth and nail at auction just for a taste of that magic. Tonight we're going on a journey. We're not just sipping, we're exploring. We'll uncork the secrets of Burgundy's most revered vineyard, Romanée-Conti. We'll stand in the hallowed grounds of Bordeaux's Château Lafite Rothschild, and we'll fly across the pond to Napa Valley to understand the meteoric rise of a cult classic, Screaming Eagle. We'll break down what makes these wines so damn special, from the sacred terroir to the genius of the winemakers. So, grab a glass, get comfortable, and prepare your palate. This is going to be a masterclass in liquid luxury. Let's go. Forget everything you think you know about Pinot Noir. We're starting at the absolute pinnacle, the undisputed king, Romanée-Conti. Just saying the name gives you goosebumps. This isn't a winery, it's a pilgrimage site. We're talking about a tiny 4.5-acre plot of land in Burgundy, France. A Grand Cru vineyard so revered, it's practically sacred ground. For centuries, this small patch of soil has produced what many believe is the most sublime, most profound wine on the planet. The history is staggering. A story of monks, princes, and revolutions, all centered around this one vineyard. The production is meticulous, bordering on obsessive. They use horses to plow the fields to avoid compacting the precious soil. For goodness sake. Every decision is made with one goal, to let the terroir speak. The result is a wine that's less of a drink and more of an experience. It's a paradox in a glass, powerful, yet delicate, structured, yet ethereal. People talk about its scent, a peacock's tail of aromas that just explodes from the glass and keeps evolving for hours. You get layers of red fruit, violets, damp earth, exotic spices, things you can't even put a name to. It's a wine that demands your full attention, a wine that tells a story of its vintage with breathtaking clarity. They produce a minuscule amount, just a few thousand bottles a year, which are allocated to a very, very lucky few. Getting your hands on a bottle isn't about money, it's about connections. It's the very definition of unobtainable perfection. Now we head southwest to Bordeaux, the home of the world's most famous red blends. And in Bordeaux, one name reigns supreme: Château Lafite Rothschild. This is first growth royalty, the benchmark against which all others are judged. When you think of a classic, age-worthy, elegant Cabernet Sauvignon-based wine, you're thinking of Lafite. Its legacy stretches back to the 17th century, a favorite of kings and presidents. Thomas Jefferson himself was a massive fan, even visiting the estate. The terroir here in Pauillac is legendary, with deep gravel soils that are just perfect for ripening Cabernet Sauvignon, giving the wine its signature structure, power, and finesse. What makes Lafite so iconic is its consistency and its breathtaking elegance. It's not a big, brutish, in-your-face wine. No, it's the epitome of refinement. It has this incredible aroma of cedar, graphite, pencil shavings, and cassis that is just unmistakably Lafite. On the palate, it's powerful but never heavy, with tannins so fine they feel like silk. The magic of Lafite is its ability to age for decades, even a century or more. A young Lafite is impressive, but a mature Lafite is a transcendent experience, shedding its youthful power to reveal incredible layers of complexity and a perfume that will stop you in your tracks. It's the definition of a blue-chip wine, a timeless classic. For a long time, the old guard in France looked down their noses at American wine. Then, this happened: Screaming Eagle. From a tiny, hidden-away vineyard in Napa Valley, California, This wine absolutely exploded onto the scene in the 1990s and turned the fine wine world on its head. It proved, without a shadow of a doubt, that the United States could produce a Cabernet Sauvignon that could stand shoulder to shoulder with the very best of Bordeaux. It's the ultimate cult wine, a story of how a former real estate agent, Jean Phillips, bought a plot of land in Oakville and, with the help of a genius winemaker, created magic. The style is pure Napa Valley opulence. It's a wine of incredible concentration, power and purity of fruit. Think luscious blackberry, creme de cassis and mocha, all wrapped in a velvety, seamless texture. But it's not just a fruit bomb. There's a serious structure and elegance underneath it all that allows it to age beautifully. The production is minuscule, even smaller than Romanée-Conti, with only a few hundred cases made each year. You can't just buy it. You have to get on a mailing list, a list that has been closed for years. This extreme scarcity and near-perfect quality scores from critics created a frenzy, making Screaming Eagle one of the most expensive and sought-after American wines ever made. It's a modern legend. So we've seen these incredible wines, but the question remains, what drives these astronomical, eye-watering prices? First and foremost, it's quality. It all starts in the vineyard. We're talking about unique plots of land, the terroir, with the perfect combination of soil, climate and aspect that simply cannot be replicated anywhere else on Earth. Then you have the human element. Generations of expertise, meticulous farming, harvesting by hand, and rejecting any grape that isn't absolutely perfect. This obsession with quality costs a fortune in labor and results in tiny yields. They're choosing to make less wine to make better wine. That's the foundation. But quality alone doesn't get you to thousands or tens of thousands of dollars a bottle. That's where scarcity and demand come in. As we've seen, the world's greatest wines are made in minuscule quantities. There's simply not enough to go around. When a legendary vintage from a top producer like Romanée-Conti is released, the whole world wants it. You have a fixed tiny supply and massive global demand from collectors, investors, and high-end restaurants. It's basic economics on steroids. Add in the critics' scores, a perfect 100-point score can double a wine's price overnight, and the sheer power of the brand's reputation built over centuries. It's a perfect storm of factors that catapults these bottles into the stratosphere of luxury goods. For many, these bottles are not for drinking. Not right away, at least. They are investments, liquid assets. Think about it. Unlike a stock or a bond, fine wine is a tangible asset, something you can see and touch. And it's an asset whose supply is constantly decreasing. Every time someone, somewhere, decides to pop the cork on a bottle of 1982 Lafite for a special occasion, the global supply of that wine gets smaller. This ever-dwindling supply, combined with growing global demand from new markets in Asia and beyond, creates a powerful upward pressure on prices for the rarest vintages. It's a classic supply and demand scenario. Investors and collectors look for wines with a proven track record. Top producers from classic regions like Bordeaux and Burgundy and exceptional vintages. They buy these wines en primeur. That's as futures before they are even bottled or upon release, and store them in perfect temperature control conditions for years or even decades. The potential for appreciation can be incredible, often outperforming traditional financial markets. Of course, it's not without risk. You need expertise, patience, and deep pockets. But for those who get it right, a cellar full of fine wine isn't just a collection of drinks. It's a diversified, high-performing investment portfolio that you could, in theory, liquidate and drink. If you want to see the passion and the money behind fine wine in its rawest form, you need to go to an auction. This is the big league, the theater where history is made and records are shattered. We're talking about the grand auction houses like Sotheby's and Christie's, where collectors from all over the world gather, paddles in hand, to battle for the rarest bottles on the planet. The atmosphere is electric. There's a tension in the room you can cut with a knife. The auctioneer is a performer, building the drama, coaxing out bids, playing the room like a violin. It's pure adrenaline. Here you see collections that have been built over a lifetime come up for sale. We're talking about ex-chateau collections, meaning the bottles have come directly from the winery's cellars, guaranteeing perfect provenance. These are the holy grails. You'll see single bottles of 1945 Romanée-Conti sell for over $500,000. You'll see entire verticals, a collection of a single wine from many different consecutive years, fetch millions. These auctions set the market price and reinforce the status of these wines as true luxury icons. It's not just a transaction, it's a spectacle. A celebration of the wine's history, rarity, and enduring desirability. Right, you've managed to get your hands on one of these masterpieces. You cannot just rip the cork out and glug it down like a savage. Don't even think about it. There is a ritual, a process, a ceremony to honor the wine and unlock its full potential. It starts with the temperature. Serving a great red wine too warm is a crime. It becomes soupy and alcoholic. Too cold, and you kill all the aromas. Get it right. Then, there's the glassware. Forget those thick, clunky goblets. You need a proper thin-rimmed crystal glass. One with a large bowl that allows the wine to breathe and funnels those glorious aromas right up your nose. The shape of the glass genuinely makes a bloody difference. For older wines, decanting is crucial, not just for show. It's about separating the wine from the natural sediment that has formed over decades. You do it carefully, with a candle or a light underneath the bottle's neck so you can see the sediment and stop pouring before it slides into the decanter. This process also allows the wine, which has been asleep in the bottle for years, to wake up, to breathe, and to open up its complex layers of aroma and flavor. It's a gentle, respectful process. Rushing it is an insult to the winemaker and the decades the wine has spent waiting for this very moment. Pay attention to the details. Drinking a legendary wine on its own is a profound experience. But pairing it with the right food? That's when you create magic. That's when 1 + 1 = 3. The goal of a great pairing is to elevate both the food and the wine, to create a harmony where each component makes the other taste even better. It's a delicate dance. A bad pairing can be a disaster, completely destroying the nuances of an expensive wine. Imagine pairing a delicate, aged Burgundy with a fiery hot curry. It's a car crash on your palate. You've just wasted hundreds, maybe thousands of pounds. Don't be an idiot sandwich. So what works? For a powerful, structured Bordeaux like Lafite, think classic. A perfectly roasted leg of lamb with rosemary and garlic, or a simple, beautifully cooked steak. The protein and fat in the meat will soften the wine's tannins, making it feel even more luxurious. For an ethereal, complex Burgundy like Romanée-Conti, you need something more delicate. Think roasted duck, game birds, or dishes with earthy mushrooms and truffles. These flavors will echo the savory, earthy notes in the wine, creating a seamless and sublime experience. The key is balance and respect. The food should be a supporting actor, allowing the wine to be the star of the show. These wines are more than just a liquid in a bottle. They are a key that unlocks a very exclusive world. The enjoyment of fine wine is often a deeply social experience, a reason for people to come together. We're talking about exclusive tasting events, gala dinners, and charity auctions where these incredible bottles are opened and shared among passionate connoisseurs. It's a community built on a shared appreciation for craftsmanship and history. Being in a room where multiple legendary vintages are being poured is an unforgettable experience, a chance to compare notes, share stories, and learn from other collectors. These events are where friendships are forged and business deals are done, all over a glass of something extraordinary. There's a certain camaraderie in sharing a bottle that costs a fortune. It's a gesture of generosity and a shared moment of pure indulgence. For many, the joy comes not just from tasting the wine itself, but from the conversations it inspires and the memories it creates. It's about celebrating a milestone, closing a major deal, or simply gathering with loved ones to share something truly special. The wine becomes the centerpiece of an unforgettable social occasion, a catalyst for connection and celebration at the highest level. So why, after all this, does fine wine continue to hold such a powerful grip on our imagination? Well, it's because it's one of the few things in our fast-paced digital world that is still real, tangible, and deeply connected to the earth. It represents a commitment to tradition and a rejection of the mass-produced. In every bottle of great wine, there is a story. It's the story of a specific place, a single year's weather, and the hands of the people who made it. It's a time capsule, a liquid snapshot of history that you can actually experience. This Allure is about more than just taste or status. It's about the romance of the vineyard, the mystique of the cellar, and the patient art of aging. It's the thrill of the hunt for a rare bottle, and the intellectual challenge of understanding its complexities. It taps into our desire for authenticity, for things that have a soul and a story to tell. While trends come and go, the fundamental appeal of a wine that has been crafted with passion and purpose, a wine that can evolve for a century and connect us to the past, is timeless. It will continue to captivate collectors, connoisseurs, and dreamers for generations to come. The world of fine wine, for all its tradition, is not standing still. It's constantly evolving. One of the biggest challenges and drivers of change is, of course, climate change. Winemakers in classic regions like Bordeaux and Burgundy are seeing warmer, more unpredictable weather. They're having to adapt, experimenting with different farming techniques, and even exploring new grape varietals that can handle the heat. This will undoubtedly change the character of these iconic wines in the decades to come. We're also seeing the rise of new fine wine regions. Places like England for sparkling wine or Oregon and even Tasmania for Pinot Noir are now producing world-class bottles that are challenging the old guard. Technology is also playing a massive role. From drones that monitor vineyard health to sophisticated anti-counterfeiting technology like blockchain and NFC tags on bottles, innovation is helping to improve quality and protect authenticity. There's also a growing movement towards sustainability and organic and biodynamic viticulture as producers and consumers become more environmentally conscious. The future of fine wine will likely be a fascinating blend of respecting ancient traditions while embracing new technologies and adapting to a changing planet. The next screaming eagle could come from a region we're not even talking about today. The story is far from over. So we've journeyed from the sacred slopes of Burgundy to the hallowed chateau of Bordeaux and the sun-kissed hills of Napa. We've seen that these wines are so much more than just eye-watering price tags. They are the pinnacle of agricultural art, a testament to what can be achieved when passion, patience, and a perfect piece of land come together in harmony. They are a connection to history, a tangible asset, and the centerpiece of unforgettable experiences. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting to get curious, the world of fine wine offers a lifetime of discovery. The most important thing to remember is that wine is meant to be enjoyed. It's about pulling a cork, sharing a glass, and engaging all your senses. You don't have to start with $1,000 bottle. Start by exploring, by being curious. Try a good Chianti Classico, a German Riesling, a Pinot Noir from Oregon. Pay attention to what you're tasting. Read the stories behind the labels. The journey into wine is one of the most rewarding you can take. So here's a final toast to the winemakers, to the history, and to the endless adventure that awaits in every single bottle. Cheers! What an incredible journey. We've barely scratched the surface, but I hope you now see that the world's most expensive wines are priced that way for a reason. It's a world built on heritage, painstaking craftsmanship, and the sheer bloody-minded pursuit of perfection. From the history locked inside every bottle of Romanée-Conti to the bold ambition of Screaming Eagle, these wines represent the absolute peak of what is possible. They are liquid stories, waiting to be told, and they remind us that some things are still made with soul, passion, and a deep connection to the land. The beauty of wine is that the learning never stops. There's always a new region to discover, a new grape to understand, a new producer whose story will captivate you. The path to appreciating fine wine isn't about spending a fortune. It's about being curious and paying attention. It's about training your palate, trusting your own taste, and most importantly, sharing the experience with others. The joy is in the discovery, whether it's a 20-pound bottle that punches well above its weight or a once-in-a-lifetime taste of a legend. So don't just sit there. Your adventure into the fascinating world of wine starts right now. Dive deeper. Click the link in the description below to explore our guide to wine tasting for beginners. Read, taste, and learn. Find a local wine shop and ask questions. Start your own journey. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, because we have so much more to explore together. Now get out there and start tasting. Cheers.